So that was a lot of code. And right now it still doesn't look nice yet. We need to do maybe 2 more things to make it look nice. Because right now, this form looks a little bit better. We have our first name, last name, mobile number, email, new password. The password comes out in little dots, which is good. The button looks way too big, but we're getting there. And so inside our code, in here in the style.css, right below the left half h3, I'm going to write .right half form. And I'm going to give that form, I'm going to tell that form to display grid, so it is also a grid, and I want to give it 2 columns. Grid, template, columns, 1 fraction, 1 fraction. So it splits it in half. Below that, I'm going to say, hey, I want that .right half form. All of the half inputs inside it should take up grid, column, span only 1, and should have a minimum height of 30 pixels. And the font size should be like, I don't know, 15 pixels, something like that. Let's also give them a little bit of margin on the top and bottom. So we'll say margin 1%, 0. So top and bottom margin 1%, left and right is 0. The other thing I want to do is I want to make sure my .right half form .full inputs, grid, column, span 2. So they take up a full row. And they should also have a margin of 1%, 0. Now I could have probably done this all together, but I didn't, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I probably could have. Because I'm writing a lot of the same code here, right? I'm just going to do the same thing, other than the fact that one of them spans 1 and one of them spans 2. So that's really all I need to write to make this look nice. Once I've done that, I mean, you can give the button some style if you want, but otherwise, that's pretty much all we need. We probably want to give the button a little bit of style, and the horizontal rule, maybe make it a little bit bigger. I can do those 2 right now, but right now just copy down this homie right here. We're almost done. We just need to add like 3 more things. We need to say that, hey, we want our .right half form button to be big, have a font size of like 16 pixels. We also wanted to have some padding of 8 pixels on the top and bottom and 12 pixels on the left and right. Let's make its background green so it looks pretty. Some color, white, and let's round the edges a little bit with border radius. So that has some rounded edges of 6 pixels. I also want to make sure that horizontal rule works. So let's say the HR should have a border of solid 0.5 pixels black and a width of 100%. And once we've done that, we've actually written everything we need to write for the time being. We could probably add some stuff in the footer too. Actually, I'm going to do that right now, but I'll give you some time to copy this down. Let's just write the footer code so it looks nice. I'm going to say height 50 pixels, width 100%, background, let's go with RGBA 102, 102, 102, 0.4, so it's like a little see-through. Let's color, the text should be black. It should display flex, align items in the center, and justify content in the center. And then let's also make sure the footer paragraph has no margin. Margin 0. So I will paste all of this code into Slack for you in a second, but I want to show you why I styled everything the way I did and I wrote the HTML the way I did. Now if I save everything and take a look at my app, it looks something like this, which looks okay. It's not perfect. It could be a lot better. I did something wrong here. I don't know. Something wrong with the footer. This does not look right. I think it's supposed to be whatever. I don't know. Did I make it min height or min height 50 pixels? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know why it's not doing what I want it to do. That is definitely not 50 pixels, but no, it's 19 pixels. So I don't know why my code isn't working there. Did I not give it a class of footer? Maybe? I did give it a class of footer. You know, I don't have a good answer for that. Save it. Saved. Refreshed. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, so the reason why we wrote everything like this is if you take a look at this page right now, I just want you to see what it looks like. It is very, very similar to something that is one of the biggest apps in the world. Does anyone want to take a guess what we just made? Yeah, this is exactly Facebook's login. Well, not exactly, but close enough that if you go to Facebook right now, you will see that we have built a small replica of exactly what Facebook looks like, which is the name up here. I even stole the exact text that they used. Connect with your friends in the world around you. See photos and updates. Share what's new in your life. Find more of what you're looking for. And then it has a grid here of the first name, last name. Sign up. It's free and always will be. I stole that from Facebook also. The grid for the inputs are here, and the sign up button as well. I didn't do this male, female, birthday because I didn't care enough, and their policy. And I don't want to, I don't need to assume any of that. And I didn't put the login here, and we have a different section for login with Google. But with as few lines of code as humanly possible, I wanted to recreate as much of Facebook's login page as possible. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to allow you guys to have people sign into your applications using Firebase, and then it should take them to a page that is actually the meat of your application. So what does your app actually do? What we're going to do next is I'm going to show you how to do the login, authentication, and then once someone does authenticate themselves, where do we send them to? We send them to the part of our app that we actually want them to use. And so that's going to be the last part, but this is everything for the front end of the Facebook login page. Now, I want to give you a little challenge, is that over the weekend or next week, if you can make this page look as close as possible to the actual Facebook page as you can, I will give extra credit to whoever can get it to look the closest to the real Facebook sign-up page as possible.
Wait, the name and everything too?
Everything. I just want you to make one. You could call it Fakebook, actually. Call it Fakebook. That's actually what I was going to call it. I was going to say Fakebook instead of Connexion, but then I knew it would have given it away, though a few of you already figured it out, that it was a Facebook page. I don't use Facebook enough, to be honest. I like Fakebook. That sounds nice, right? So what I want you to do is see if you can create a Fakebook page that looks as close as possible to Facebook as you can get it. Now, we did a pretty good job here, but there's definitely some improvements that could be made. So over the weekend, take some time, see if you can make that work. But I will paste all the code into Slack for anybody who needs it, and the next class we'll finish up with the JavaScript and the authentication with Firebase. Cool?